What's going on, guys? It's your good old pal, CHH, back here again. Today is going to be a really cool video. Now, this is something that 99.99% of you probably will not try and go out and buy, and that's totally cool. This is something I could not live without, and I'm going to showcase it, let you see what it's like sitting down on the couch looking at the menu screens of this release. What am I talking about? I am talking about this release for Return of the Living Dead 3, one of my all-time favorites from my favorite series, Return of the Living Dead. I'm talking about Mortal Zombie, Return of the Living Dead 3. Yeah, that's pretty cool, right? Mortal Zombie. I love that name. Now, I heard Brian Usna talk about that. Apparently, overseas, in some markets, the film was called Mortal Zombie, Return of the Living Dead 3. And I think it sticks. So this is a release. This is a chunky box release of Return of the Living Dead 3 that is just really cool. And it just attracted my eyes when I first saw this. Now, I saw this on maybe Blu-ray.com or something. I don't remember exactly where. But I know that when I saw it, I said to myself, given the opportunity, this is something that I would absolutely love to be able to have and do a video showcase for and just catalog. Because if you don't know, if you're new to the channel, my favorite movie on the planet is The Return of the Living Dead. So naturally, I have a big affinity for not only Part 2, but Part 3. Being a big Brian Usna fan as well, I love his movies. There's a real nice, comfort to his movies. There's a nice, almost junk food quality to his films in the best way. I think he's a good horror filmmaker, or just a good filmmaker in general. His films have these binge qualities to them that you can just watch them over and over again. And so naturally, I love this film for a number of reasons. So when I saw this, I was like, this is something I've got to get my hands on. So here, guys, we're going to look at this together. Mortal Zombie, Return of the Living Dead 3. Now, this release is from Spain. Select Division, Lionsgate and 20th Century Fox. Here's our front cover. Here's our spine. It says Mortal Zombie, Return of the Living Dead 3. And I got this on eBay, by the way, guys. In the event that somebody that's a hardcore fan says, oh, I can't live without that either, and they want to get it. There's the top. And here's the back, which showcases and features all the extras that are on this release. The way this opens up is this slides out from the left, not the right. Excuse me, which is kind of weird. Kind of threw me off at first. All right, let's set this to the side. Okay, so when you pull this out, you're going to be greeted to Melinda Clarke. This great shot of Melinda Clarke. Love that part of the film. This is one of those unfolding releases. So when you open it up, that is cool. You're going to get the old zombie from the test scene in the beginning of the film. And on this shot, you get really cool shots of the two zombies in the film behind the bars. So you open up this side. And here is disc 1, which is your Blu-ray. Oh, let's see if I can get this off. You get a shot of Melinda Clarke right there, which I kind of have to censor. So, yeah, you get to see her. Let me cover that back up. She went for it in that movie, man, I tell you. I mean, she's a badass chick. Disc 2, which is simply the DVD version of the film. They do give you a DVD version. Disc 2, you get this zombie on the cover. Really like that. And everything has a really glossy, high-def look to it. They did a really good job artwork-wise on this. So when you open up side 3, here's your bonus feature disc, which features that cool zombie that's kind of like the Tar Man of the film. And there you go. You get a shot of him right there. And that's really, really cool. Okay. Right here. Mortal Zombie. And there is another shot of Melinda Clarke. Sorry, guys. I can't show nudity on here. I just can't do it. So here's the booklet that it comes with, Mortal Zombie. And we'll kind of briefly flip through this. Guys, if you haven't seen Return of the Living Dead 3, it's really unique. It's not like the first two movies. If anything, Return of the Living Dead 3 is really a Reanimator film in a Return of the Living Dead script, in a sense, because the use of trioxin is really to try to just revive his girlfriend, Melinda, in the film. And he uses it like a reagent in Reanimator. Now, that's not a slight. I actually really like that. It makes this film a unique twist and a unique way to go for a Part 3. Because even though Part 2 is my heart and soul, I really like that Part 3 tries to have its own identity and do something unique and different. And there's a beautiful charm to Return of the Living Dead Part 3 that I think any horror fan would absolutely adore. There's a sense of humor to this one. There is a sense of true passion for this because Usna really wanted to do this film and he wanted to get people involved that really wanted to do it. And of course, this is in a foreign language. I can't read this. Oh, look at this. They even have a thing about More Brains, the documentary, which is great. Yeah. Great, great documentary. I need to do a video talking about that. That's the booklet for Return of the Living Dead 3. Mortal Zombie, Return of the Living Dead 3. So, guys, let's go sit down on the couch. We'll look at what the Blu-ray screen looks like, and we'll look at the special feature disc and see what that has for us. Just for the record, guys, I tried playing this on a Region A style, and no, it did not work. Alright, guys, so I just figured the best way to do this, because I'd say 99% of the people that watch this are not going to be buying this. So why not I give you the full experience with this? So you got play, idioma, okay, it's subtitles, excuse me. Escenas, it's got to be scenes. Extras, let's see what Otros Titulios is. What? Oh, other titles. That's cool, look, Halloween 2. So Otros Titulos, if I've mispronounced this, I'm sorry. These are trailers. So you've got Halloween 2, you've got a Halloween 3 trailer, and then you've got the Wishmaster trailer. So on extras on the main disc for the Blu-ray, you get an audio commentary. So 2 audio commentaries with this. So it'll play the movie with the audio commentaries. The other one is the DVD disc. Let's see what's on the extras disc. Alright guys, so this is the bonus disc. I'm not bummed out. It is what it is. I'm so happy to have this release because it's just like a super prestigious release nonetheless. But it looks like all the special features are in fact the features from the Vestron release. So you got the first one, which is Brian Usna and John Penny, the writer of Return of the Living Dead 3, who I love, by the way. He's just a really nice guy. It's a nice conversation with those two. Then below it, you've got the J. Trevor Edmond interview, which is great. Then you've got Trimark and Trioxin with producer David Trippett and Chris Roth talking. Then you have the Melinda Clark interview. And below that is the Chris Nelson and Steve Johnson interview. You got a teaser down there. You got the trailer next to it, storyboard galleries, and photographs. So basically, you know, it's pretty much like the Vestron release. But this is just a really cool release from Spain that I dig the Mortal Zombie name, by the way. That is so cool. I actually prefer that, Mortal Zombie Return of the Living Dead 3. I wish they would have called it that everywhere. Pretty cool. Anyway, guys, back to the video. Alright, guys, so not necessarily a downer or a bummer. I guess I might have just thought maybe there would be something specific extra in here that would not be on the American release. Really, this is just a second sight version of, say, a Scream Factory release. In essence, Vestron would be the Scream Factory release, and the second sight version would be the Select Division release. So it's just a souped up super fan collector's version that you could get instead of a more standard looking release like the Vestron release. But for me, this is something as a diehard fan of the first 3 Return of the Living Dead films, and I actually am beginning to enjoy a little bit Necropolis and more so Rave to the Grave. These are films that I just adore, and I want to have different versions of and try to go to my way. You know, I know the lights are off in here for mood, but over there is my Return, right behind Jason, is my Return of the Living Dead 3 poster. I love these movies. So this is Mortal Zombie, Return of the Living Dead 3, a Spanish release of the 3rd entry in the Return of the Living Dead series. A great movie, guys. If you haven't seen this before, I promise you it's worth your time. Any horror fan can get some enjoyment out of this, and I really think it's a film that most of you can watch and say, oh, this is so charming. I really like this film. The sense of humor is great in this. Melinda is the star, and she kills it. The music's good. The effects are modest but good, and there's just an essence to this film that just makes you feel good and relax and want to have fun. So, which is not a lot of stuff in the world is fun today. So Return of the Living Dead 3 is very fun. I love this film. Please, guys, above anything, go revisit this movie. If you want this release, if you're a diehard fan like me, your best bet is eBay. I think it's pretty much out of print. This came out in like 2018, so it's 5 years later that I'm getting this. But there you go, guys. Mortal Zombie, Return of the Living Dead 3, a Spanish souped-up Blu-ray release. Like I said, guys, most people aren't going to want to get this, so I hope you enjoyed living vicariously checking this out, guys. Hell of a release. I love it. Huge giant thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, this would not be possible. To get behind the scenes photos, videos, music, private live streams, and much more, you can subscribe to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Thank you to my patrons.